What's the basis right now? The narrative that the police are mowing down black people? It's a false narrative. It's not true. Hey, if it were true, a lot of us would be out in the streets protesting. It is not true. And isn't that good news? According to the Washington Post, there were 9 unarmed black men who were shot and killed by the police in 2019. Guess how many white men who were unarmed and were killed by the police, shot and killed by the police? 19. When did the street protests occur? And according to the CDC, over the last half century or so, the rate of police shootings against blacks have declined 75%. Not a typo, 75%. While the rate of police shooting of whites has flatlined. So one can even argue that whites are more at jeopardy of the police than blacks. Why do I say that? A young black man is around 8 times more likely to be a victim of a homicide than a young white man. In fact, the number one cause of preventable death for young white men is homicides. The number one cause of death, preventable or otherwise, for young black men, homicide. And almost always killed by another young black man. So what are we talking about here? Last year, there were roughly 7,000 black homicide victims. Almost all of them were killed by other blacks. And when it comes to interracial homicide, which is rare, last year, in recent years, it averaged about 750 interracial black-white instances of homicide. 500 whites were killed by blacks, 250 blacks killed by whites. So blacks at 13% of the population are killing twice as many whites as 61% of the population. And LeBron James put out a tweet after the death of Ahmaud Arbery in Brunswick, Georgia, and said that we're literally being tracked and terrorized and followed every time we leave our homes. Really? And if so, by whom? Look at a city like Chicago. Chicago's around a third black, a third white, a third Hispanic. However, 70% of the homicides are black on black. And about 75% of those cases are unsolved. Honestly. And when it comes to non-homicide, interracial, violent black-white acts, in any given year, recently, there are around 600,000. In 85 to 90% of the cases, it involves a black perpetrator and a white victim. Only 15% or so the other way around. So what are we talking about here? The only question we ought to be asking ourselves is, why is the crime rate so high in the black community that causes the police to cause there to be so many interactions with black people? And the answer, in my opinion, is the absence of fathers. Forget about Larry Elder. Barack Obama said a kid raised without a father is 5 times more likely to be poor, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in jail. It is the number one social problem in this country in general, and in the black community in particular. And the question is why? In 1965, 25% of black kids were born outside of wedlock. Now that number is 70%. Now you could argue that 25% had something to do with race and slavery and Jim Crow. But how do you explain the out-of-wedlock birth rate in the black community going from 25% in 1965 to almost 70% now? You cannot pin that on slavery and on Jim Crow. It is the welfare state. And what we've done with the welfare state is we've incentivized women to marry the government, and we've incentivized men to abandon their financial and moral responsibility. And we're not having had a discussion about that.